Today I will review the Darwinex platform. Not only will I explain the difference between the two entities, Darwinex Zero and Darwinex.com, but I will also share my trading experience with both so that by the end of the video you will know which one is a better fit for you. In addition, I will show you a few of my Darwinex accounts and you will see which is the most suitable expert advisor to use with Darwinex in 2025. And before I show you one of my very profitable accounts with Darwinex, let me show you Darwinex Zero, which is the traders platform, and Darwinex.com, which is the investors platform. So Darwinex Zero is designed to give the opportunity to traders to trade without risking their own capital. It costs 38 euro a month, or at the time of recording this video, that's about $40 to purchase the account and receive 100,000 euro trading account, and there are no limits, there are no restrictions like with the prop firms for daily or overall drawdown. There is no risk for the trader, and the purpose is to build a good track record. This way we receive allocation, but we need to go through the different stages. So the first stage is the zero calibration, where the Darwin or the track record is calculated, which is the training stage, and this is where we need to show that we have a good strategy or expert advisor, and for 1 month we will see our Darwin, which you can improve with the time. So even if you don't perform really well in the first month but you perform well later, that is okay, you are still going to the Darwinex Silver. This is where we receive allocation from 30 up to 375,000 euro, and this allocation is from the Darwinex itself. And once we have that allocation, we can earn our first performance fee, which I'll talk about a little bit later. Then we go to the second stage, and that's the Darwinex Gold. This is where we receive up to €500,000 for a 6-month period. The third stage is the investors. This is where our account opens to external investment, which means that the investors can put their money into your strategy or your Darwin, and you will both make money if you are profitable. The final stage is the Darwinex Pro, where you can approach your own investors with your own brand, or in other words, you will be able to have your own hedge funds, which is really cool. Now on the other side we have the Darwinex.com, which you can consider as a CFD broker, but not exactly, because here we can follow others, and I'll show you a little bit later in the video one of my accounts where I am following other traders. But the very important thing here is that the Darwinex.com is regulated in EU and in the UK under the FCA, which is one of the strictest regulations. And to explain how the whole thing works, I will use a presentation I prepared for my Darwinex course, which you can find down below in the description. But the basic is that you can be on both sides. You can be on Darwinex Zero and you can be on the Darwinex.com platform. So the traders with their Darwins give the trading ideas to the hedge fund. We pay 38 euro a month to have the account. We receive the 100,000 euro to trade with, and by having our trades we give the trading ideas. If the investors decide to follow, the hedge fund will trade these trading ideas against the market. Now if the trades are losing, the hedge fund loses, the investors lose their money, but the traders don't lose anything. It is risk-free for the traders on the Darwinex Zero platform. However, if the trades are positive and the hedge fund makes money, 80% go to the investors, because traders won't put their money into the hedge fund if they don't get 80% from the profits. However, 5% stay with the hedge fund for the service, for the platform and everything they do, and 15% are left for the traders. Or in other words, we can say that that this is 75% of what is left after the investors. And this is how hedge funds work. This is the realistic payout and not 80 or 90% that the prop firms offer. And at the end of the day, they always find a reason to deny the payments, to ban the account, or to find something in the terms and conditions which you have missed. But let me give you an idea what the 15% payout means, or the 15% performance fee. So this is the calculator, and let's say you make 5% a month, which means that for the last 5 months you would have made 25%, and the max drawdown is also 5% in the account. If I calculate it, you will see that in this way you are getting a very good rating of 95.27, and the expected allocation is 130,000 euro. Well, pretty much this will be the money that you will be managing. And if I bring the calculator, you will see that 5% profit and 130,000 euro is 6,500. This is the profit you make for the hedge fund, and from there you are getting 15%, or that would be exactly 975 euro. If we deduct 38 euro, which is the cost for the account, that would be 937 euro. But even if your strategy makes less, let's say 2% a month, which would be 10% for the last 5 calendar months, and you stick to 5% drawdown, that would be a 30,000 euro allocation. A quick math here is that with 30,000 euro allocation and you make 2% a month, that would be $600, and from those you are getting 15%, this is $90. And if I deduct the 38, actually this is in euro, guys, but this will be 52 euros. So you're still making money if you achieve 2%, or let's say this is the minimum. Anything above that obviously is more money. And before I show you some of my accounts with Darwinex, let me show you the pricing, because 38 euro a month is the most popular, but you can go for a yearly plan and for 3 years plan as well. If you use the coupon PETCO, you are getting a discount of 20%. And what's interesting here is with the 3 years plan, you receive permanent allocation of 100,000 euro. So even if you're not profitable for a few months, you are not losing this allocation. The only way to lose it is if you blow the account or if you restart your account. And if I log into one of my accounts where I have a return of 6.88% in the last 6 months, my max drawdown is negative 398, which is good. But in this account, just because recently it is going flat, I am a little bit below the guaranteed allocation of 75. My current rating is 73.72, so I need to reach 75 for this account if I want to receive more allocation. At the time of recording the video, I have the 30,000 euro allocation under management, and you can see here the performance for the last few months. So in September it is 0.16, in October is 6.83, November was a little bit of a negative month, and now December is almost at 1%. And what's very important to point out about Darwinex is that you need to target steady profits for the long term. Don't chase 10-20% and risk your account. You just need 2 to 5% a month steadily with low drawdown. And if I go to the settings page and I go to the subscription, you'll see that this is my current plan, but I can upgrade it to a permanent allocation. If I click on more info, you will see this article that is very detailed, but the most important thing is you can decide which plan to select. And if you go with the cheapest one, which is $160 at the time of recording the video, your target will be 20%, which means that if I upgrade my account with permanent allocation, I need to reach 20% and then it will be unlocked. If I want to reach faster, I can select some of the more expensive plans, but actually the best thing is to grab the 3-year plan because the permanent allocation is for free. And particularly for this account, I'm planning to do it once I see the strategy going positive again. One tip here is if you start a brand new Darwinex account and it just goes on a loss in the first month, it's better to restart the account. You're paying just 38 euro, but you are not including this bad track record from the beginning in your Darwin. And I've done this mistake in the past. I had an account where I had a drawdown and I was profitable after that, but it took way longer to receive the allocation. So now whenever I have a bad month from the beginning, I just restart the account. And as promised, I will show you 3 of my Darwinex accounts. The first one is with the Percept Trader AI, which is a product from the vendor Valerie Trading. This one over here, it comes with a free trial. It has a very good track record, by the way. If I click on it, you will see that this is a verified live account and it achieved gain of 293%. But bear in mind that this is a grid system. If I switch to the equity, you will see that there are some drawdowns which recovered successfully for me. And just for the last 10 days there is no trading because I paused it around the holidays, and I usually do that because the liquidity at the end of the year is not that high. Plus there are some huge transactions between institutional banks or huge companies taking their profits. So I usually pause trading at the end of every year. And in this Darwinex account, the total return so far is 8.1%. I started at the end of September, so it's been exactly 95 days. If I click on the stats, you will see that the profit factor is 2.06, which is great. It means that I have 2 times more profits compared to the losses, and the average monthly return, which is important for Darwinex, is 2.5%. Now the other account is where I'm trading a little bit riskier, and here I have all gold robots from the top 10 app, which you can find at EA Trading Academy. I will go to the top 10 robots app and I'll just switch to the gold. And in the Darwinex account that I showed to you, I just download all of these robots and I throw them in there. But from the app, you can select which one to use. Looking at the performance from the last 5 years, the last 1 year, there is out of sample that is useful on the 1 year or on the 1 month back test. And you can download the expert advisor and upload it back in EA Studio to see what are the indicators, the stop loss, the take profit. So with one click, we export the robot for MetaTrader 4 and for MetaTrader 5. Then you can use the expert advisor studio. There is a free trial which you can use. And what I will do, I will just import back the expert advisor that I just downloaded, and I can see the entry indicators, the exit indicator, the indicator chart, where the trades opened and closed. For example, there was a long trade right in here. I can backtest it with Darwinex data. Actually, you will see that the balance chart changed a little bit, and this way you can decide which expert advisor to trade from the top 10 app. But in this Darwinex account, I'm just putting all of them, and the total return is 27.8% so far. If I click on the stats, I have a monthly return of 16.4% with a little bit lower profit factor of 1.24. And the third account I want to show you is also a fully automated trading with the Vigorous EA, and with this one I achieved 2.5% monthly. Profit factor is 2.06 and the history is already above 3 months. If I go to the overview, you will see a very steady balance line. If I switch to the equity, you will notice that there were a few small drawdowns, loans, but the Vigorous doesn't use an aggressive grid martingale system. There is a recovery, but not that aggressive, and it's very active. Probably one of the most active expert advisors I ever traded. You can see that there are plenty of trades that open every single day, and it's really interesting to watch this expert advisor trading. You can see how active it is and what beautiful patterns there are that are always being recovered. I never saw a huge drawdown until the moment. Here is the period where I paused trading, and now I reactivated it just before the new year. Yeah, I'm recording this video on the 31st of December because I want to make sure that you guys will have some fresh content at the beginning of next year. And if you appreciate that, well, you know what to do. So the Vigorous EA offers a free trial of 5 days, which you can test. There is a verified track record as well for the account. There was a drop of 30% in 2023, but it recovered successfully. So these 3 expert advisors are suitable for Darwinex Zero, and I'll leave it on you to select which one you want to use. But if you decide to use any of them, make sure you change a little bit the input so we don't get correlated and we will have unique trades. But if you don't want to trade and you just want to invest, then Darwinex.com is the better solution. And here I have an account with 1,000 euro that I have funded some time ago, and I decided to follow these 4 traders. So the first one with the Darwin ERQ, I decided to follow with 400 euro from my capital. At the rest, I left to the THI, SYO, ZVQ. I don't know any of these guys, okay? I don't see who is the trader behind. I don't know what is the strategy they are using, but what I see is their performance or their track records, okay? You can see how profitable he was until the moment. There are, of course, losing months, but you can notice that the very successful traders here are chasing 2 to 5% a month and staying with low drawdown. And at this account, I already made 5% or 51 euro and 53 cents fully automatically. I actually followed those people and I haven't checked the account for a few months, if I have to be honest with you. And if I click on all Darwins, you will see that there is a huge choice. You can see what was the return for each one, what was the drawdown, what is the D-score, and it's absolutely up to you who you want to follow. And if you're a beginner, I would strongly suggest you to start on a virtual environment or a demo account, and then you can start with the 38 euro a month and trade 100,000 euro, which is a great opportunity, by the way. As always, guys, I thank you so much for watching, and before you go, check out this video on my site to learn more about a free expert advisor that we recently revealed. Until then, I love you and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.